It's not a done deal yet, as the vote today approved non-binding terms to settle the lawsuits and sell the Badlands property to another developer. Contracts for that are still being finalized, and though it's the biggest step in years, it's one that will cost a whole lot more than if the city would have settled the Badlands cases the first time around, when an offer was on the table 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the city could have settled Badlands for $64 million. Today, it's $636 million.
For the constituents that have been asking us every single day for years now, when's this coming to a resolution? I want to say this council has been actively working towards a resolution the entire time.
This council is not the same council that started the fight with landowner Johan Lowy, but they have voted to appeal court rulings despite multiple losses before multiple judges.
Faced with the financial impact of the settlement before you today, I think it's fair to say that every public servant in this building wishes that certain events and court decisions had gone differently. But they did not.
The city's battle with Lowy over developing homes on the defunct Badlands golf course began when council members denied permits, preventing the residential development that the land is zoned for. Lowy sued, and the city lost every case, with courts ruling the city illegally took Lowy's land. After losing its first appeal in a unanimous Nevada Supreme Court decision, the city in August paid off a $64 million judgment.
In our reality as a city, as we face a financial risk of at least $450 million if the remaining litigation continues adversely towards the city.
But taxpayers still have a jagged pill to swallow, as Wednesday's vote provides for another $286 million from city coffers, plus $350 million more.
The $350 million will come from the city's sale of the Badlands property and clubhouse to a corporate entity of the well-known national home builder Lennar, who has a proposal to develop the property with approximately 1,750 residential units.
That kind of development is what started the city's fight in the first place, when a handful of wealthy Queens Ridge homeowners who didn't want the golf course behind their homes turned into housing, they leaned on council members to push back, which is how this all ended up in court.
None of the city council members who considered the applications to develop the Badlands property remains on the dais today.
What I would tell you, Darcy, is for years since the case has been going on.
But as recently as August, in an interview with 13 Investigates, City Manager Mike Jansen was still defending the former council member's actions.
Rampart Charleston's really busy. I'm sure you've been in the Rampart Charleston intersection. It probably sees 100,000 cars a day. What's that going to do to quality of life? And so every mayor and council across the country, they try to take a proposal like we had and take into account quality of life issues that the project may bring, whether it's for fire support, police support, for schools. For those reasons, I think the decisions we made were based with best intentions.
As former city officials and Las Vegas residents have repeatedly pointed out, the legacy of those former council members is a stain on the city's reputation and an unprecedented burden on taxpayers.
This is not your money. It is the taxpayers' money. The city has failed miserably in its stewardship.
The settlement terms show the folly of the fight, as it essentially takes us back to where we were when this all began. The city is allowing large-scale residential development on Badlands, which is what Johan Lowy wanted to do in the first place. Had they let that happen then, we wouldn't be in the hole for hundreds of millions of dollars now. Darcy Spears, 13 Investigates.